My friends, I want to do a quick masterclass on decision making, decision analysis, using systems and decision making tools to solve problems. Now, the place to use decision analysis is when a choice is not clear. Uh, Very importantly, when you are faced with two or more good choices. If a choice, choosing between a good choice and a bad choice is not difficult because that's clear. But when you have more than one good choices, for example, if you are choosing a university, you are going to university and you say, well, should I go to this one or that one? Both of them seem to be almost equally good. All the other parameters are, or they seem to match on all parameters. How do I pick between this and that? And also, using a system is very important where the risk of making a wrong choice is high. The risk might be high in terms of cost. The risk might be high in terms of be getting then fixed in one choice, in whatever choice you make, and you can't return. It's very difficult to get out of the choice. The classic example of that is marriage. The cost of a wrong decision is very, very heavy, and it's not easy to get out of a wrong decision. Once you make the choice, it's almost as good as for life. So it is a very good idea to use a decision analysis tool. There are four steps. It's a four-step process. First one is to define the problem. What is it that is troubling you at the moment? What is the problem? Write a problem definition. Be as specific as possible in that, and begin with details and then narrow it down to being very, very specific. What exactly is the problem? Number two, in this problem, define what I call essentials and desirables. We'll come to that in more detail going forward, but just keep these two words in mind. Essentials and desirables. And then the third part of the process, third step of the process is to generate different solutions, different alternatives, and then you, as I say, do the sums and pick the best choice. It is very important to strictly follow the process. Don't try to short circuit the process because you will sabotage yourself. Now, in terms of definition, describe the pain. What exactly is the problem? Why are you even at this decision point? So you might say, for example, if you are picking a university, you might say, well, the pain is that I have to now choose between these two universities because this is my life going forward. Marriage, you might say, well, I am very lonely. I need a spouse. I need a wife or a husband. I want to have my life with somebody going forward from here on. So that is the nature of the pain. I call it the nature of the pain. So this is the so similarly you define it. You want to get a house. I want to buy a house or rent a house, and so on and so forth. And then also spend some time and think about why is this painful, and what is the cost of the pain. So what if you don't solve this problem? What will happen, right? In the case of the university, well, my life going forward will get sabotaged. In the case of marriage, one way or the other, I get married, I don't get married, my life will not be as good as I hope it can be, and so forth. So the reason I'm saying go into the depth of the problem, define it, feel the pain of it, and so on, because very often you will find that the solution to the problem lies within the problem itself. So if you define the problem well, then the solution very often will pop out from the decision itself. Then we come to the essentials and desirables. The essentials, this is a very, very important thing, which is, and this is where people generally, everything falls apart. And that is, they don't decide on what is essential and what is desirable. Now, essential is go, no go, right? Live or die, make or break. So essentials is something that absolutely must have. So if you have, for example, three things that you identify as essential in a particular case, even if one is missing, you will reject that particular option no matter what else is going for you. Now, this is where people get confused. This is where they sabotage themselves because they say, Yeah, but that is not there. But see the other things. Now you're gone. You're finished. You're dead, right? So that is why it is very important to decide on what are essentials, and to only say something is essential if it is in fact essential. As I said, essential is can't do without that, right? So, for example, using marriage as the point of decision making, you might say, well, absolutely critical and essential for me that the person I'm marrying has to be from my religion, right? So, husband or wife has to be from my religion. No compromise on that. Somebody might say, well, the religion is not important, but has to be from my ethnicity, must be, my same skin color, my area of the world and geography and so on and so forth. Somebody might say, well, none of that is important for me. As far as I'm concerned, the person must have a university education. So at the end of the day, this person must have, a degree from a university or whatever. But the point is that you are saying this is essential. So now, for example, supposing you say, the person I am marrying must be from my religion, just to give you an example. You find somebody who is very nice in every way, has beautiful manners, is highly educated, is very good looking, is wealthy, whatnot, but from a different religion. What will you do? You will reject. You will say, no, sorry, this person I cannot marry. No matter how many other things are good, this is an essential. When I made this term essential, it means that without this, I will not accept anything else. Now, essentials are very critical to decide because of two things. One is that the more essentials you have, the narrower your choice becomes. It reduces your options. So if you say that, for example, the person must be from my religion, not only religion, my particular sect, not only that, the person must be from my ethnicity, not only ethnicity, but must be from my town, my city, must be related to me in line, from my extended family, and so on. Then the more you are essentials that you load on, the narrower and narrower and narrower your options are going to get. So the number of choices that you have available to you will become smaller and smaller. But the decision will be faster. That's the thing. Decision becomes very easy because once you satisfy the essentials, all you need to do make a tick mark and you're done. But the chances are that you won't find the person that you are looking for because now you have put in so many essentials that everything else gets discarded. So essentials are critical to have. Without essentials, you will get very confused. But if you put in too many essentials, then your choices are going to get limited. Now, once you decide the essentials, I say write it in stone, meaning that must not change no matter what. Then we come to the issue of desirables. These are nice to have. If you have them, fantastic. If you don't have them, it doesn't matter. You will still decide based on the essentials. So now in the context of nice to have, again, going by the same marriage example, because that's easiest to explain, you say essential is must be somebody from my religion, right? Now desirable would be nice if somebody from my ethnicity, so my religion, and also my part of the world, they come from that, or my race. Would be nice if they could speak the language, my mother tongue, which I speak. Would be nice if they speak that because my parents and grandparents, everybody speaks that language. It would be nice if my wife or my spouse also spoke that language. It would be nice if my spouse was also a great cook. It would be nice if my spouse also had their primary life goal as washing dishes. It would be very nice if my spouse did this and that. I mean, you can load on as many of these desirables as you like because they're all desirable. They're not essential. The essentials are there, written in stone. You are not going to change those. Desirables, now you load on. Now, in those desirables, then what you do is make a list of the desirables, and then you give them what we call a weightage. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, absolutely is in the desirable 1 to 10. Something which is number 10 is a desirable which is almost essential. It's still not essential. It won't go to that level, but almost essential. For example, you might say essential, the spouse must be from my religion. Desirable, that this spouse must be from my part of the world. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that, say, 8 or 9. So somebody from my part of the world, there is a little bit of a scope. If it's not someone from my part of the world, also I may look at them, but this is something which is so much of weightage on that. College degree, okay, 5, right? I don't want someone who I have to teach them to read and write, but at the same time, absolute college degree not required, so much. Are they, if you are a woman wanting to marry a man, then independent income, I would actually put it under essential. I mean, I wouldn't even put it in desirable. I would put it under, if your husband to be is not earning his own living, if he does not have an independent income, then he's not ready to marry. As simple as that, right? But if you have, whatever reasons, you would definitely put it as a desirable, absolutely, and give it a very high weighted average, 9 or 10. The reason for doing that is because you may end up with a lot of desirables. How do you pick between them? By the weighted average. So now, for example, if you have one somebody who satisfies the essentials, say for example you had 3 essentials, here is somebody who satisfies 3 essentials, here is somebody who satisfies 3 essentials and satisfies 5 of the 10 desirables, then obviously the second person is preferable over the first person. Now, in terms of the desirables, what you do is give a weightage to all of them, and then you say desirable 1 had a weightage of 9, desirable 2 had a weightage of 3, desirable 3 had a weightage of 4. So 3 and 4 is 7, 7 and 9 is 16, right? 7, 9, 16. So this particular option has 16. The other option has say 10. So therefore, I picked the one which has 16. So it has the desirable weightages added up, give you a number, and that number is what you are going to use to come to a decision. But please understand, without the essentials, the desirables have no value. If somebody has all the desirables, every single one of them, but out of the 3 essentials, even if one is missing, you are going to reject that choice. This is the hard-headed, clear-thinking decision-making that people don't do. They get themselves confused, and so their decisions are bad, and they get, they spend a lot of time and energy, and then they end up making a bad decision because they don't have the edge to be able to make that cut and say, sorry, what doesn't work. So final decisions, a final decision is based on what? All essentials must be satisfied, right? All essentials must be satisfied. There is absolutely no compromise with that. All essentials must be satisfied. And then we consider the desirables. Desirables will be considered only when all essentials are satisfied. And then, as I mentioned to you, you pick the one with all essentials and maximum desirables, right? Just something to remember is pick the alternative which has the maximum score in terms of fulfilling all the essentials and desirables. Don't change essentials. I'm saying this again and again because this is the biggest problem with decision making. Do not change essentials. Desirables or weightages once you have decided them. Even with desirables, don't change the weightages. Once you have decided, take your time to decide. Take your time to decide the essentials. But once you've decided, that's it. You've written them down. You're not going to change them. And writing is very, very important. And then you weigh the pros and cons of each alternative and select the best. Discipline is absolutely critical. Without discipline, you will not succeed in this. You will fail. There is no doubt about that. I wish you all the very best, and may Allah give you the opportunity to make good decisions which are good for yourself and for others.